Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good morning. My name is Hafa Aina with student number 088. In here, I will present about sociolinguistic variant of language based on gender. So we know sociolinguistic is a field that studies that relationship between communication and society. We know that a language is not just a random, but it can influence from society such as like age, class, and where we're gonna talk about is a gender. So in this presentation, I will explain how the gender influence the communication and a language use, what factors shape the differences, and how they appear in real communication, real life. Okay, let's go to the first slide. Gender in sociolinguistics. In sociolinguistics, gender is understood as a social construct rather than just biological sex. It refers to roles, identities, and expectations created by society. Language plays a dual role. It reflects gender differences and also helps construct and maintain those differences in everyday communication. So, society, it reveals like roles, identities, and expectations that created, and also the language is play a dual role. It reflects the gender differences and the construct too. And in sociolinguistics, gender is understood as a social construction and dynamic category shaped by various interacting characters rather than purely biological differences. One major factor is social norms, which define what is considered appropriate language used for different gender within a culture. And then also there's several key factors in here that influence how gender is expressed through language. The first one is social norms and cultural expression. So we often define how men and women are expected to speak. For example, women are often expected to be more polite or soft, but men could be like loud and more bass, and we will be like soft-spoken. If people called a woman when we were talking, will be like soft-spoken. And the second one is power relation. The power relation is language can reflect the dominance or inequality. In some contexts, men may use more authoritative and demanding, and they will like be more dominating the woman, while women may use like more mitigate forms. The third is socialization processing. This where from a young age individuals learn how to speak according to gender expectation through like family or maybe school or maybe the circle itself. And then there's a context and setting. This is the way people speak change depending on the situation. Maybe like on the formal event or maybe in the like when they were hanging with or people around, it'll be like there's informal environments. And finally is intersectionality. Its meaning gender interacts with other identities like social class, age, and ethnicity. These factors show that language not only reflects gender but also have construct it in everyday communication. Now, next is linguistic features. This linguistic features research is in sociolinguistics shows that there are patterns in how different genders use language. So, empirical studies highlight systematic variation in linguistic features across gender. Women are generally associated with the use of more standardized and prestige forms, reflecting greater sensitivity to overt social norms. They also tend to employ expressive and evaluate lexis as well as politeness strategies characterized by indirectness and mitigation. In contrast, men are more likely to utilize non-standard variants, adopt more direct and assertive speech styles, and engage in linguistically competitive forms of interaction. And there's also conversational patterns. Gender-based differences are also evident in interactional dynamics. Women are typically adopt a collaborative conversational style, characterized by supportive feedback, minimal interruption, and shared topic management. While men, on the other hand, are more likely to display a competitive interactional style involving higher rates of interruption, topic control, and dominance in turn-taking. However, such patterns are not determined and may vary according to situational context, social roles, and communication goals. So, men are more likely like a competitive style. For example, in group discussion, maybe we will like men may speak longer or interrupt to express their opinions. Okay, the last material is gender and language issues. Language plays a crucial role in the construction and negotiation of gender identity, allowing speakers to perform and index different gendered personae. At the same time, linguistic practice often encode gender bias, including lexical symmetries, stereotypical labeling, and the use of generic masculine forms. Okay, that's the material that I read, and so by studying gender in sociolinguistics, we can better understand how language both reflects and shapes society. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.